Afternoon, everyone. Yesterday's video actually uploaded pretty quick, so maybe it will stay afternoon by the time this thing gets uploaded. I'm not sure. We'll find out. Listen, I know I was already on earlier and put out a really long video. A lot of people probably won't even watch it. And I can't say I blame you, because it's very long. It is what it is. What can I say? But sorry, I mean sunflower seeds. The sunflower seeds are awesome. I love sunflower seeds. Anyway, boy, let's get to the subject at hand here. I know I was on earlier, but when I get some information, something sent to me, something I'm not aware of, that I think is going to help people out, especially with today being Friday, the weekend coming up, and who knows, okay? I'll just go ahead and talk about this. I already shared it to the community page, and there may be more that I might share. I'm not exactly sure yet. But good old Hal Turner put out a pretty interesting editorial. And, I don't know Hal Turner. A lot of people probably don't know Hal Turner. Kind of an alarmist, but at the same time, he has been right about some things in the past. I'm not exactly saying that I would follow all of his advice, but at the same time, because he posted what he did from the Dumpster's Truth media website, social media website, I'm going to give it its due because of the timing of it. That's the most interesting thing to me about it, is out of all days, out of all times, the Dumpster chooses 8/8 to put out this particular post, basically warning, in his words, I guess you could say. You could read the Hal Turner article. If you're on True Social Media, go to that. I don't know, whatever. But you could read it on Hal Turner's, editorial. Like I said, I shared it to the community page. You can go to his site, halturnerradioshow.com. But what the Dumpster is doing, he's basically warning that we will have some type of an economic crisis, and he compared it to 1929 Great Depression. What it really boils down to is if he doesn't get his way. That's really what it boils down to. He blames this, he blames that, the liberal courts, the liberal judges, the liberal this, and on and on and on. But it really, when I was reading it, what hit me was, this is about somebody that just really wants to get their way, and if they don't get their way, then they will fulfill their title of chaos president. People probably heard this before. It's been mentioned quite a bit. A lot of people talked about it. The first time I remember hearing that term was a Saturday Night Live skit way back during the first term, when Alec Baldwin on Saturday Night Live was, impersonating Trump. And it was a skit. I don't think I'll ever forget this. It was a skit called The Chaos President, and it was right after Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico. And pretty funny skit, but also very sad, where he's on the phone, with the Puerto Rican president, I guess, talking to her, saying, we're going to provide assistance and so forth, but in such a way that it's just like, we really don't care. We'll send you toilet paper. We'll send you paper towels, kind of thing. You want assistance? We'll just throw you some bounty paper towels. All right. People may remember this. I do. People may remember these things. It was the first term, like I said, so it was around 2017, I guess. And the name of the SNL skit, if people want to look it up yourself, is called The Chaos President. And it hit me because I'm like, what a perfect term, what a perfect name for this man. And then, like I said, this was in the first term, 2017. Well, that name has persisted. Quite a few people have mentioned it. So I'm thinking to myself as I'm reading this is what a chaos president would do. They want to cause chaos. They want to cause fear. They want to cause panic. They want people to be alarmed. And they want people to think in their heart, in their mind, well, if we don't give this man everything he wants, and if we don't support him the way he wants to support him, the way he wants us to support him or whatever, and if he doesn't get everything that he is bargaining for, then this economy is going to crash and we're all screwed, basically. Now, this is why I don't agree with Hal Turner and everything that he said. All right. First of all, we have our faith in Jesus Christ, so we're not going to fear anything, right? The Lord does not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind. So that's the first and most important thing, is we're not going to fear this, okay? Secondly, I don't think there is time currently right now to do anything major. This is a threat. I wouldn't necessarily even call it a warning. This is a threat, okay? That, well, you better pay attention. You better do everything I say, or this economy is going to come down. If anybody comes against me, and if anybody doesn't do everything if they don't do everything that I say, because I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm the stable coin genius, then it's all going to fall apart. Excuse me. So, what do we do is the main thing here, right? What do people do? Well, there are some wise preparations, like I talked about. I'm not warning anymore. I'm telling you, prepare, okay? I'm suggesting and advising you prepare. I'm not going to warn. I'm not going to be an alarmist. I'm not going to be, jump on the bandwagon. Breaking news, urgent alert. People send me all kinds of stuff. I'm the type of person, you tell me once, I'll probably remember. You tell me twice, I'm sure I'll remember. You tell me 3 times, I am not a moron. I'm not going to forget. You don't have to tell me 100 times, okay? You don't have to send me 100 messages, 100 emails, 100 videos on the same subject matter over and over and over again, whether it's from the same messenger or different messengers, okay? I don't need to be told consistently and constantly, okay? So I'm not going to insult your intelligence either, But it's wise, it's smart to prepare. It's smart not to have everything in the bank, all your eggs in one basket. It's smart to have some cash. It's smart to have it in different denominations. It's smart to stock up on non-perishable foods, water, whatever you would need in case something were to suddenly occur, okay? Because you got to remember, these people are really, their back is against the wall, okay? They're desperate, okay? The regime, the dumpster fire regime, administration, it's desperate. The exposure is out there, okay? They can't do anything to stop it, right? It's out there. The truth is out there. Like I said earlier this morning, imagine that. It is out there. This is the truth. And most people with a brain know it's the truth, okay? If you listen to the Katie Johnson interview, you know it's the truth. If you listen to the other things, if you listen to the other victims, if you listen to what people are saying, this is the truth, okay? So they've been exposed, and they know they've been exposed. So what happens when somebody gets exposed? They have 2 choices. They can either come to terms with the exposure, and they can admit their sin, they admit their fault, repent, get right with the Lord, humble themselves, step down, do whatever it is they have to do to get themselves, their family, and everybody else, in agreement, and humble themselves. I don't see that happening. That's most likely not going to happen. Matter of fact, I'd pretty much bet a lot, if I had it, that won't happen, okay? Or the other thing is, you lie, you deflect, you distract people, you do whatever it takes to take the focus off of yourself, off of your own sin, off of whatever it is that you're being exposed for, and you do a wag the dog type scenario, okay? You put something out there that makes people focus on anything, something and anything else other than what people are being exposed for, okay? They know it. He knows it. His sins have found him out. The regime's sins have found them out. Caroline Leavitt's sins has found her out. That's why she's not wearing her cross anymore. Notice that? If you ever watch the press secretary, watch the press conferences, see it? She's not wearing the cross anymore. Why? Because she's made her choice. Her sins have found her out. And they have an opportunity to repent. They have an opportunity to get it right. They have an opportunity to admit fault, admit their sins. They're not going to. They're going to continue to lie. They're going to continue to deceive. They're going to continue to manipulate. They're going to do whatever they can to save themselves. And they won't care who they step on or who they hurt in order to save themselves. That's what I got from all of this. Yes, it's a financial threat. If I don't get my way, we're going to have a 1929 stock market crash. It's going to be a Great Depression. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Okay, fine. Take the threat for what it is, okay? These people are crazy, all right? They will do whatever they need to do in order to stay afloat, all right? Are they going to pull some stunt this weekend? I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I am under the belief that it's, September, October time frame. However, like I said in previous videos, it's not unheard of for military operations to begin in August. That's when Operation Desert Shield began. It's also very interesting that today, like I started this out with, is 8/8. If anybody is familiar with any type of decoding or anything of that nature, you know that 88 has significance. It is his number, okay? 88 miles an hour, Back to the Future, specifically Part 2. The character of Biff Tannen is based on Trump. Even the producers of the movie admitted that, okay? I mean, if you look at him, you watch Back to the Future 2, if you've ever seen it, or you just look up clips, you will see that the character of Biff Tannen in that second movie looks exactly like him, acts like him, talks like him. I mean, the comparison is uncanny, okay? It's the truth. There's reasoning behind this. Donnie Darko, 1988. Decoders have said, whether people believe it or don't believe it, whatever. I'm just telling you what they have said, okay? That is basically the dumpster. Donnie Darko, 1988. 88 is the number. Today is 8/8. There's no coincidence, folks. There's a reason that this chaotic statement was made. This fearful statement was made to cause panic, to see how the markets are going to react, to see how people are going to react. What are they going to do? Are they going to ignore it? Are they going to act on it? Is that going to embolden his base, where they might have been on the fence saying, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can still follow this guy. I don't know if I can still support this guy. I mean, look at what's coming out here. I mean, geez. I mean, I'd have to be an idiot to ignore all this evidence. This is bad. And it looks pretty dang factual, But then you distract. You do a wag the dog scenario, You come up with something to make them a psyop, okay, to make your base support you once again. Say, hey, you don't want to be poor, do you? Well, you better get back on board. You better listen to me. You better do what I tell you. You better follow along, or else you're going to be on the outside looking in, and you're going to be one of the poor ones. Where are you going to get your food from? Where are you going to be able to do this and be able to do that? And see, that's kind of what Hal Turner said too. He's just kind of like, well, I'm going to get money out of the bank, but, not for bills. Screw the bills. Okay, well, let's be realistic here, okay? All right. Most likely, nothing of a financial catastrophe will happen this weekend, okay? So pay your bills, okay? Keep your lights on. Keep your water running, okay? I mean, let's not get crazy here, okay? Pay your bills. Be a responsible adult, Take care of what you need to take care of. But yes, have a plan in case the lights do go out. Have a plan in case the water stops running. Have a plan, but pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your bills. This is the difference between somebody that trusts in the Lord with all their heart, leans not on their own understanding, in all their ways they acknowledge Him, and people that trust in the system or the government or let fear overtake them. and then they don't know what to do, and there's all kinds of chaos and confusion, and they freak out. All right? Be wise, be smart, be prudent, be vigilant, but be responsible. Be a responsible adult. All right? That's my suggestion, advice anyway. Okay? Because like I said, is it close? Yeah, it's very close. But is it time? Me personally, I don't think so. Not yet. Not yet. I think it's very close. I like I said, I'm really looking more at September, October. Matter of fact, I got a video sent to me of a teenage girl that a friend sent to me that I think she's correct. She said the Lord told her October, and he's given her several dreams and about the things to come. And I'm more likely to trust a teenage girl or a teenage boy that just goes to high school or middle school or whatever and has nothing to gain or lose, and most likely will be more willing to listen to the Lord without their own agenda or narrative, out of the mouths of babes kind of thing, and, more innocent heart, in comparison to people that have been jaded for many, many years and might have an agenda or a narrative or whatever else and may not be hearing as clearly as they think they are. I'm under the impression that a child or a young teenager would most likely be more trustworthy at this point in time, especially if they've given their heart to the Lord and He's willing to speak to them. He's willing to show them things, and they're willing to share it. That's me personally. I listened to it and it resonated with me that, I think they're right. And they said October, that they thought that everything was going to start going down. It's like, well, yeah, but it's that September, October time frame. But August is a preparation time. This month is a time for preparation for September, October. Could be September, could be October. That's what this young lady said, October. Makes sense to me. October 29th, 1929, that was the great stock market crash. Could be something before in September that leads up to it, because I do recall that in my research and reviewing things and listening to things, watching things, they knew by late summer in 1929 that a crash was coming. Of course, they said nothing, but they knew by late summer. Just like people knew in September that December 7th, 1941 was going to happen. If someone did try to warn, but the Navy ignored it. Everybody ignored it, okay? Take it for what it's worth, all right? They know in advance. They plan these things. They know. So they knew in late summer in 1929 what was going to happen by the fall of that year, all right? So history often repeats. If it doesn't repeat, it rhymes. So it does make a lot of sense. But don't give in to fear is the main thing here. Don't give in to fear. Don't let it overcome you. Don't let things freak you out. I'm just simply making this video to inform people as to what the chaos president is saying, what the dumpster fire of a regime is doing. And I'm not going to apologize for it. Matter of fact, every time I say it, I feel more and more validated every time I say it. Because like I said, I've done my research. I've done my homework. Not disparaging people that haven't. I know people are very busy. They have life to live. I have an advantage where I can listen to a lot of things while I'm driving and so forth. I have a great advantage over a lot of people in that way, okay? But the point is, I have listened, I have researched, I have watched, I have done my homework. When I say dumpster and dumpster fire, I know what I'm talking about. Evil to the extreme. Evil to the max. An evil that I have not witnessed firsthand in a very, very long time. I mean, I've witnessed a lot of evil. I was in law enforcement, security, in the medical field, dealt with a lot of victims, rape victims, and all kinds of other crazy stuff. Violence, domestic violence, assaults, brutal beatings, okay? I've seen a lot of stuff, dealt with a lot of stuff, okay? I've seen a lot of evil. But this consistent satanic evil is just, it's like it's palpable that it doesn't let up. I am not wrong when I call the man a dumpster, and this regime, administration, whatever, a dumpster fire. It is straight up evil. All right? Not saying Biden and Harris wasn't and all these other people weren't. I'm not saying that. But this is different because we were sold something different. We were told something different. People thought they were going to get something different. Whether their vote counted or not, most likely didn't. Okay? But they thought, they were led to believe they were getting something better, something different. They were duped, bamboozled, and hoodwinked like nothing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, maybe historically speaking, there's been other great cons, better cons than this that I'm not aware of. But in my existence, in my life, this is the biggest con job, bamboozlement, if that's a word, hoodwinking, I have ever witnessed. I mean, you talk about suckering people in a cult to make them think that some dude is godlike and that he can do no wrong and that you are just, and if you say anything against him or anything that he supports or believes, that you're like public enemy number one and you should be, hung up by your toenails kind of thing. I've never seen anything like that. Not in America. I would expect that in maybe some third world nation with a dictator or a warlord or something in charge, but not in the United States. I would not expect that here. But that's what we have. That's what we have now. We have Nebuchadnezzar. We have King Saul. We have, I don't know. Those are the two that come to my mind. All right? That's what we have now. Okay? This is what we have. So take it with a grain of salt with the threats. Okay? It's all about causing chaos and pain and hurt and suffering and fear. Because they want you to depend on them. They want you to rely on them. They want you to be like, my government shall supply all of my needs according to its riches and glory. They pervert the gospel. They pervert scripture constantly. They twist things around. And that's exactly what they want people to do. They want you to depend and rely on the government. They want you to be, government sufficient or even self-sufficient. Just don't be God sufficient. Don't be Jesus sufficient. No. Don't do that. They don't want you to do that. But that's what we have to do. That's what we need to do. That's what we're required to do. That's what we're supposed to do. And that is the only way that people get through, whether it's today, this weekend, and beyond. So, check it out. If you want to, don't panic. Don't freak out. Don't lose your mind. Don't give in to the fear. Don't give in to the chaos. Because that's exactly what they want people to do. And unfortunately, I have great concern that is what a lot of people will do. Because they're not going to be ready. And I am telling you straight up, I see it every day. I see people all day long, every day. I listen to them. I hear what they say. I listen to their complaints. I listen to their concerns. I hear a lot. Whether they think I'm listening or not, I am. Whether they think I hear it or not, I am. I hear a lot of what people say. And the one thing I can guarantee you is no one is prepared for what is coming. They're not. Their focus is so far off of Jesus and even reality, even the world around them. They're not prepared in any way, shape, or form. But you can be. So start this weekend if you haven't. Do what you got to do. Pray about it. Be wise. Be smart. Make good and wise decisions. And y'all have a great weekend. Enjoy it if your weather it holds up. And get out. Get some exercise. Get into nature. Enjoy God's sunny blue skies if you have them. And if you get hit with a lot of crap weather, I'm sorry about that. I don't know what to tell you. It rains on the just and the unjust alike. But if you can get if you have some good weather in your area, enjoy it. Get out and enjoy God's creation while you still can. All right, that's it. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.